What up guys, welcome back to Newbie Money. If you guys are new to this channel, I'm a new day trader who's trying to document my whole process of one day becoming a profitable day trader. And as you guys could see up in the top here, today was a rough one. This is by far the biggest loss I've had since I started documenting my journey. And it's kind of hard to see, but at the same time, part of me is not surprised with the way that I have been trading and the way that the market has been recently. But I would say it's 80% me and 20% the market, because you know, in the end, it's how you react to your situation that defines you, not how your environment is reacting to you, you know. So but I just want to, before I quickly go over the trade recap, my main plan for PLEG was to do an overextended short. So it looked really good, it looked fine, and because it gapped up all the way to around 34.71. Let's check out the pre-market here. It went pretty high in the pre-market. It was 34.88 that it went. So $35 the high. So I was expecting it to go up a little bit right off the gate, because I'm just used to shorting it like that, where right off the gate it goes up a little bit and then I short it. But it seems recently a lot of these overextended shorts just seem to fail right off the gate, or the best entries for them seems to be in the pre-market, which is a no-go for me. Like, I'm not a big fan of entering anything with size, or even not that much size in the pre-market, because it's very thin volume. Like, the volume pre-market and volume right off the gate is day and night, right? So if someone wanted to manipulate the pre-market, can. So I don't really want to be a part of that. But it seems like now the previous strategy where right off the gate it goes up and tests pre-market, you know, resistance, then it fails, is no longer a thing, because it just keeps dumping right off the bell. I've seen this with mRNA, I've seen this with BA, and yeah, so it's okay, you know, trends change and this kind of happens, you know, and I just have to adapt. But I shouldn't lose this much money. This is stupid and just me being impulsive. The only reason why I lost that much money, and the only reason why I was actually buying dip buys instead of shorts, is I was like, oh, okay, well, I think this is gonna bounce up, then starts going down from here, so might as well get into the short. So I'm just gonna buy some shorts. So I might as well buy the dip, then once you go up, then I'll short again. But it just kept dipping and dipping harder and harder, and I just found myself super frustrated. But as you can see here, like, I had $50 losses, $6 losses, $52 and $51 losses. But this is where the frustration grew, because when I'm entering this, I'm entering it with no more than 200 to 400 shares at a time. But now, for some reason, I started entering them with 1,000 shares, 1,200 shares at a time, like one-time buy. And that was just such a bad idea, because it doesn't really need to move that much to lose, you know, 151. You just gotta move 10 cents and it's gonna, you know, cost you some money. So it just built up on frustration upon frustration upon frustration. In fact, the biggest win I had today was $96, and the biggest loss I had is $151. So my loss outweighed my win pretty big. But I want to talk about one thing, is just like what I was kind of doing here. And I know a lot of day traders do this, because when I watch a lot of other videos, this happens a lot. And I'm not talking about the shitty entries, well, that too, but it's just the blackouts. You just tend to black out hard. Like, you know you're doing something bad, but for some reason you keep going back and keep going back, and that's a bit of that tilt that's just, you know, it's almost like a pre-designed human genetic, you know, self-defense mechanism that's helped us in the past. You know, when you were living in caves and someone comes and just takes your, you know, beef jerky that you've been dry for 6 months, and you're like, nah, fuck that shit, dude, I'm gonna fucking be as aggressive as I can and take that back, and that has helped us to some degree. But now we are in the front line of the finance realm, redefining the laws of finance. Like, how do you explain the stock market to a caveman? Like, you just buy and sell instruments of finance that holds value. Like, you know how you have a bunch of, like, you know, cows or something, the same thing, and you do it on this thing called a computer. They're gonna be like, what the fuck's a computer? Like, they'd be like, oh, computer, like, we just use electricity, stuff like that. And they're gonna be like, what the fuck's electricity? Then you're gonna just have to be like, we made electrons are a bitch. Then you just can't really explain it further. But the whole point is, I'm noticing that there is some pre-built stuff within us as humans that makes it really hard for us to really see the right thing to do at a certain time, because you just pre-coded to make the wrong decision. So if I can tell myself before, maybe in a form of meditation, maybe in the form of just writing down my notes right before, saying like, okay, so you wanted to short this, but now since it's going down, you're thinking of buying the dip, then when it goes up, you can be shorted. But what happens if you buy the dip, then it keeps dipping? What is the max loss you're gonna get that? So in my opinion, it should be 50 bucks. If I lost 50 bucks and trying to buy the dip, I should just call it a day. But I just kept going in heavier and heavier and heavier until I lost 585 bucks, man. Like, that sucks, dude. That sucks a lot. I know I've been pretty good this past 2 weeks, and this kind of brings me into like a wee bit of like break even, maybe below break even, so which I'm still happy. But still, like, I was doing so good, it just sucks to fumble near the end, you know. So, and I know I have all this bad emotion to carry toward tomorrow now, so I gotta really watch out for that. So this is gonna be my plan for now. First, I'm gonna try my best not to beat myself up. If this happens, it sucks. I'm going to do my very best to make sure that this doesn't happen again. This loss is like around 4 or 5% of my account, so that's good. That's very manageable loss right now. But the main thing I'm worried about is the next few days of trading, because if this is gonna compound into my emotions and, you know, cause me to have another $500 loss, another like maybe $1,000 loss. So now I'm looking into that 20% drawdown, which is pretty crazy. So I'm trying not to get there at all. So first thing is first, I'm gonna write down all the mistakes I make when I have a big bad days. So this impulsive trades, and why do I do an impulsive trade? So I can make my money back. But if I just stopped on that first round when I was down $100, $150, I would have been in a much better position than me being down almost 600 bucks. So how can I make sure that I don't dig myself even further? Well, don't increase your share size. That's a good step. Did something happen the day before, like emotional, like outside of day trading? You know, are you having a good time? Is something stressful? I don't think I'm stressing out about anything. I'm here visiting family. I'm in a different environment, but I don't think that's the cost. I think for me, the cost is that it's been 2 weeks and I haven't made a solid amount of money besides those odd $300 days or $150 days. So that's a bit frustrating for myself. So, and I think that is the catalyst that's causing it. But beside that, I just got to make sure that I don't really, you know, open up any more open, like, you know, any open areas for me to make any more mistakes, because this is where I can feel my grip slipping a little bit, and I need to make sure that this is the time where I really double down and go back to the basics. So there's nothing more to analyze on this, guys. To be honest, this is just me being stupid, over trading like a motherfucker, because that is my weakness. So that's something I gotta work on and jump on, and it sucks because I've been rewarded in the past for over trading, and therefore it seems to be a little bit harder for me to let go of that habit. But I am conscious of it and I am taking the right step forward, but I just gotta make sure I keep taking the right step forward. So that's pretty much it. You know, it sucks to suck. You know, it's just part of the stock market. You do lose money at times, and you do make money at times, but you do learn the most when you lose compared to winning, because those are the things that kind of give you that reference or that benchmark point to remind you how good it is when you have a big win, because you can reference days like this to remind you how good you have it when you have a big day. So that's pretty much what's gonna be for today, and I'll see you guys for tomorrow trade recap.